Man, the reefer rally just continues to go. It refuses to stop. Look at the incredible move in the cannabis cohort today. What happened? It's pretty simple. Tilray, TLRY, the big Canadian producer of medicinal marijuana, just got approval from the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency to be the first company to supply weed for clinical trials here in America. The stock surged 29% on the news. What makes this even more impressive is the fact that Tilray's stock was already up more than 600% from the IPO price just a few months ago. Who says you can't make money in the stock market? You know what? I want to approach these red-hot ganja stocks, though, with a little bit of caution, because this kind of action makes it really difficult to stay on the sidelines. As far as the business goes, Tilray is in an enviable position. They were already a major supplier of medicinal marijuana for research purposes outside of the U.S. Then when Canada decided to end pot prohibition, they started ramping up production to sell this stuff for recreational use, too. Now they're on track to nearly double their production to more than 140,000 kilos by the end of next year. One problem. Hate to chase stocks that have exploded without all that much revenue, and everything about this move is explosive. But I think it deserves a closer look. So let's dig deeper with Brendan Kennedy, the CEO of Tilray, find out why the investors are so excited about his company and the amazing opportunity in front of it. Mr. Kennedy, welcome to Mad Money. Great to have you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brendan. Have a seat. All right, first of all, this is really good news because we know that the only sanctioned place to be able to have pot until today was the University of Mississippi. Do you think the DEA is loosening up restrictions because this is compassionate use stuff?
I think so. The DEA started to loosen up restrictions back in August 2016, and they said they were going to allow sources of medical cannabis for research from other countries and other places. And today proves that they were willing to follow through with that statement. And so we couldn't be more thrilled to be able to export medical cannabis products from Canada to the U.S. For this trial at the University of California, San Diego.
How big ultimately could medical be?
I think medical could be somewhere around $100 billion industry globally. If you look at, I've been doing this for 8 years, right? And 8 years ago, there were 15 countries in the world that had legalized medical cannabis. Today, there's about 35. It's really clear to me how we get from 35 to 40 to 50 to 60 over the next, really over the next 3 or 4 years.
Sleeping, pain medication, obvious for people who are hospice. But at the same time, the drug industry is going to fight you tooth and nail, aren't they?
Well, so we announced an agreement with a division of Novartis called Sandoz, and that initial agreement was for Canada. It's a co-marketing, co-developing agreement, and we hope to extend that agreement to other countries around the world. And so if you look at large pharmaceutical companies, they have to hedge this. Cannabis is a substitute for prescription painkillers, prescription opioids. And so if you're an investor in a pharmaceutical company or you're a pharmaceutical company, you have to hedge the offset from cannabis substitution.
Okay, speaking of hedges, obviously, Constellation Brands, Rob Sands, probably the smartest man in beer in the world today, has a huge position in Canopy. Should you not welcome the hedge of perhaps a Coca-Cola, a PepsiCo, a Nestle, someone who needs to be in this segment once things really get rolling?
I think all the alcohol companies need to enter this industry. It's a great hedge for them, or whether you're an alcohol company or an investor in an alcohol company. This is a global opportunity. Our intent is to build a company that dominates part of this $150 billion industry. I think you'll see multiple $100 billion companies. We don't want to partner with ABI. We want to build ABI.
Okay, fair enough. But you are $14 billion market cap. If today you started at $17 just a few months ago. It is a gigantic opportunity, and you talk about disrupting the whole industry. But you've got far less cash than Canopy. They've got $5 billion. Isn't this the time to strike and raise capital? Which, by the way, there would be nothing wrong if you said, yes, we obviously need more capital.
We obviously need more capital.
Like you said in the prospectus.
Yes, which we said in our prospectus. The intent is to build a global company. We're in 12 countries today on 5 continents. It's very clear that we'll add additional countries in the coming years, and so that requires us to increase our capacity substantially as we introduce products such as these and medical products around the world.
Well, again, is this not the time to strike when the iron is hot? I mean, your company now is larger than 93 companies in the S&P 500, including well-known names like Macy's and Ralph Lauren, and there is a great opportunity for you to raise money. Bruce raised money for Canopy. You've got the public markets would certainly welcome equity.
Definitely, and we're constantly evaluating new sources of capital. I think if you're an investor looking for growth, are you going to invest in Macy's or a global cannabis company?
But Brian Althide, who's the CEO of Green Organic Dutchman, when I interviewed him at the Green Market Report conference on Friday, he's a P&G executive for 25 years. He told me I should rein in my enthusiasm about what will happen in Canada on October 17th because the repeal of cannabis prohibition will not be as dramatic. He's saying it could take a couple of years before things really ramp up. How do you feel?
So medically, we'll go from 35 to 40, 50, 60 countries. There's a clear global growth opportunity when it comes to medical cannabis. With Canada, we're about to see 100% growth. One country, Uruguay, to 2 countries, Canada. What intrigues me is country 3, 4, 5, and 6, which are coming, right? I think you'll see the third country within 12 months of October, and that's where the real opportunity is. It's not about Canada, it's about all the countries that follow.
So then, therefore, you're not concerned. You know that all the addition in cannabis, when we saw it happen in Oregon, prices went through the floor. It's the cheapest in America. You're not concerned that with all of the different supply coming on, that you could have a considerable collapse even in Canadian prices.
No, it's like valuing ABI on the price of wheat, right?
Okay.
Cannabis is a raw material. It's an ingredient that we use in these branded products. You're not going to see the commoditization of the finished product in the brands. You'll see price segmentation, value brands, premium brands, but you won't see commoditization of the brands across the spectrum.
Which are going to be, would it be, do you think it's going to be alcohol? Do you think it's going to be tea? Do you think it's going to be coffee, edibles? What are the pecking order that you see once we get into a more recreational world?
I think that, I think more about effect and time to onset, right? Whatever the delivery factor is, form factor, right?
Okay.
But if you can match a beer, where if you and I have a beer, we might feel it within 12 to 15 minutes. That's the important part. No one wants to drink a glass of Chardonnay and feel it an hour and a half later. Right, so you need to increase the time to onset, and that's where we're spending all of our R&D time.
Well, I want to congratulate you on the success of your company. I also want to caution people that, you need more money, and whether it's a partnership or whether it's equity offering, it certainly wouldn't be a bad idea. It's an expensive proposition to be as big a consumer products company as you'd like to be.
It is, but we're thrilled.
Okay. That's Brandon Kennedy. And Brandon Kennedy, I've got to tell you, this is the hottest stock in the market right now. And you just heard Brandon talk about they do need money. I'm just trying to be cautious, okay? He's the CEO of Tilray. What a run. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.